Hello everyone, Darth here. Welcome back to another overly analytical video essay. I was rewatching Solo recently and I came across a couple clips that really reminded me of what's currently going on with GameStop. Now, in case you've been living out in the woods and haven't heard, GameStop has been exploding in the news lately, and not because of the usual reasons. And surprisingly, it isn't about the money. Some months ago, a group of investors called WallStreetBets on Reddit were exploring stocks looking for potential money makers, and a valuable hero noticed something interesting about GameStop. The price was low, the business model failing, the company in real trouble, and there was an opportunity to make a lot of money if they invested. Because the hedge funds, particularly Melvin Capital, had wagered a lot of money that the stock price was going to plummet. So these Melvins shorted the stock, meaning they borrowed shares they didn't own from another investor, promising they'd pay back those shares, assuming if the price drops as expected, they can pocket the difference. The problem is, shorts are very normal in investing, but not the way this went down. Melvin shorted the stock by over 140%. I saw numbers as high as 160%, although we can't know for sure. They sold more shares than actually physically exist by more than 100%. So these astute Reddit investors realized if they invest, all of them invest, they can buy up so much of the available stock that they can drive up the price, forcing Melvin to pay that high price when they have to settle their short call. Because remember, Melvin is only borrowing it. They have to actually buy back the stock at some point so they can return it to the investor that they borrowed it from. And they have to pay interest in the meantime, based on how much the stock is currently worth. So if WSB can hold the line, Melvin is absolutely stuck. Melvin is paying interest monthly on their borrowed stock priced at $100 or more per share, when they expected to be buying this worthless stock at $1 or less per share. So either Melvin keeps paying that highly inflated interest and keeps losing money, or they buy the $100+ stock and lose a ton of money, or if the geniuses at WallStreetBets keep buying up all the stock, the price will keep rising, and if they hold long enough, the hedge funds will lose untold billions. But the question is, why? Why, for the first time in history, is an enormous group united around a single stock? And how did this group gain 4 million more users in just a week? And getting to the answer is surprising because it isn't about the money.
I've been on one before. My dad worked the line at the CEC plant before he got laid off.
Sister and I grew up in a poor mining system. The First Order stripped our ore to finance their military. Then shelled us to test their weapons. They took everything we had. And who do you think these people are? There's only one business in the galaxy that'll get you this rich.
This isn't about the money. This is about them. This is about us being tired of being beaten down. This is about the 1% blatantly lying, cheating, and manipulating the system. GME skyrocketed to $483 a share, and guess what happened? Multiple brokers immediately blocked us from buying. Robinhood was the most well-known, a site founded on the idea that the financial system should work for everyone. But it only works for these entities that are all connected, taking care of each other, while leaving the average investor with nothing. Han wasn't in it for the money. In fact, he gave his fortune away to help the less fortunate, just like many in WSB are doing. All Han wanted was Kira and the freedom to live their own lives. Beckett wasn't initially in it for the money. He wanted to pay off his debts and live a quiet life with his lady. This is why GameStop is so important. This is why so many of us love the stock. This is why so many of us are holding. This is why people are mad. Listen to this post from WSB entitled, "I get it now. I completely understand why nobody is selling for the money. I got into GME very late. I had a couple shares back at $20, had paper hands and sold. I went all in a couple days ago. Despite it only being a couple days, I've been lurking here for a bit. The amount of 6-figure, 7-figure, and 8-figure gains I was seeing was blowing my mind. More than that, it was blowing my mind that nobody was selling. I thought you made a 7-figure profit. What more do you want? Now I'm all in. I've been staying up to date with the things that are happening, and now I get it. I understand why nobody is selling. I just saw a video of a billionaire saying it's unfair what's going on. I saw a billionaire say he's just trying to make a living. I saw an article called WSB an alt-right hate group. I haven't seen one billionaire against this movement speak on the recession of 2008. But I have seen stories in WSB of families deteriorating by the days because of the recession. I've seen blatant market manipulation to keep the common man from trading. I've seen countless slanders and whining over the last couple of weeks. You know what else I've seen during this time? I saw a guy on here donate switches to St. Jude. I saw a different guy donate money to St. Jude. I saw a guy pay for his dog's surgery. I saw a dude pay off his student loans. I saw a CEO donate it all to a charity for small businesses. I've seen somebody be able to buy a place after living in their car. This is all so much bigger than money. That's cliche, but it is true. I'm stuck between my blood boiling and my eyes watering. Honestly, I don't have a huge investment in GameStop. It's not like my shares alone hold any bearing on Melvin making this out alive or not, but it's all I have. I went from freaking out over losing $100 in a day to losing thousands in a day and just kind of smirking. To be honest, I plan on getting out if I hit 1,000, but I am not getting out. Truthfully, I'll survive without this money if it tanks. Obviously, money would be nice, but I know some others out there probably need it more. All that I do ask, if you make it out of here, not holding the bag, please do something good with your profits. Don't turn into those greedy leeches on Wall Street. Then someone else comments that he has seen someone buy a year's worth of food for a guy and his family. Would the billionaire hedge fund manager give a crap when people were starving after the crash that they brought about? Someone else says, in 2007 I bought my first home. It took me 10 years to save up for it. Little did I know the hedges were silently sodomizing the market. My house went down 70% in value and I was forced to sell. After the banks got bailed out, they sued me for a loan deficiency. I had to liquidate all my cash, file bankruptcy, it destroyed my credit, I lost the house. And now that I've built back up my savings, guess where it all is? GME. This isn't about the money I am holding until they bleed out. In another post, an open letter to Melvin Capital. I was in my early teens during the 2008 crisis. I vividly remember the enormous repercussions that the reckless actions by those on Wall Street had in my personal life and the lives of those close to me. Do you know what tomato soup made out of school cafeteria ketchup packets tastes like? My friends got to find out. I dumped my savings into GME. I dumped my rent money into more, and I am holding. This is personal for me and millions of others. You can drop the price, and I'm not going anywhere. You can pay for thousands of Reddit bots, and I am still holding. You can have every mainstream media outlet demonize us. I don't care. I'm making this as painful as I can for you. I feel this. I was a sophomore in high school when the 07-08 crash. My mom lost her job and I watched her go through her life savings to support our house. I was always wondering when our family was going to get help, and the help never came. To add insult to injury, I saw Wall Street get billion-dollar bailouts and spin the story on poor people. This is the first time in my 30 years of life I've ever seen Wall Street feel the same pain and worry that my mother felt. I am all in tomorrow. This is personal. The same children they robbed 13 years ago grew up and we have money now. 12 of them on a 3-bedroom house with children sleeping on the floor because there was no home. This isn't about the money. Millions of people want to hold this stock just to make the 1% feel a tiny bit of pain, because right now that's all we can do. But eventually, someone on the inside who sees the corruption will decide to make a difference, to strike a blow at the heart of these investors who literally leech the lifeblood from the people they see as nothing more than smooth-brained apes. This is why losing hundreds, even thousands of dollars isn't making people flinch. This is why the news is filled with fake stories trying to divert people's attention from the battle over GME. This is why we hold the line. This isn't about the money.